What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you've been watching my videos for the past few weeks, months, or whatever, you would have noticed that my perception of PlayStation is not in a positive light. And this is not necessarily something that I have done without any cause. I realize that there are issues in the PlayStation ecosystem right now from a value perspective that is not consumer friendly. This is why I've been pointing them out, and I necessarily have not had anything positive to say about the PlayStation platform. Now, believe it or not, I am actually wanting PlayStation to be a stronger brand. I'm team PlayStation overall in the competitive market. Unlike those who may come around and say to you, oh, that PlayStation is in a good place, their goal is to farm dollars and continue to appeal to those who may have an emotional investment into the platform. It's not necessarily from a place of actually being, accurate or providing what is real and true in the economy in terms of video games. They just want to continue to look like they are right and will not admit that they've been wrong for the last few years that they've been talking about this platform. So here's the thing. Rather than go around and continue to basically, tell you what it is that would tickle your ear, let's look at the reality and let's talk about what I think is PlayStation's secret weapon to bring them into a competitive light. Because like I said, I want them to be strong, and the reason I do is because I do not want for Xbox or Nintendo or any other player to single-handedly be the only value proposition provider in the industry right now. Because PlayStation does not have a good value proposition. This is just the reality. From a financial perspective, from a providing of games perspective, nothing in the ecosystem is, in my opinion, much more, attractive. That's not going to basically lead you to maybe going to buy yourself a gaming PC, or even if you don't want to get a gaming PC, getting an Xbox because of the value that's there. So how can PlayStation provide value? Well, number one, they have to take a customer-centric approach by basically providing a lot of benefits and concessions to those whom already have been on their platform in various ways. I'll give you one very interesting example so that you guys can see for yourselves. So many of you remember that Uncharted, Legacy of Thieves, and all that, were these Uncharted 4, were these collection of games that told a story after a while, right? Now, when those stories were being told, everyone was really into the game, invested into the game. I bought my first PlayStation 4 as the PlayStation 4 Uncharted collection. That's how I got into the series. When they released Uncharted 4, it was the very first game I pre-ordered. And then Uncharted Legacy of Thieves, I went after that game and I played it and I really enjoyed the series. When they went ahead and created a Legacy of Thieves collection, they updated the game and provided a 60 FPS patch, which after everything was said and done, they decided to sell this 60 FPS patch to the PS5 owners, calling it a next-gen upgrade. Now, as somebody who basically plays games on PC, I moved to PC in 2016, right after having my PlayStation. I thought this was a spit in the face of the consumer. Why would you sell me a console that can support the performance and then try to sell me the texture packs or whatever it is, the unlocked version of the game, for an extra $10? That is a money grab in the highest order. And this is coming from somebody who purposefully double dips in my video games, especially on the PlayStation platform and when they come to PC. So right now, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves is on Steam, it's on Good Old Games, and it's on sale all the way through May of next year. And I am not going to buy it unless I get it for bottom dollar, like less than what they're asking me for the version on the PlayStation 5. It is not a customer-centric move that they've made, and it has basically turned me away from basically going to patronize this particular platform or company, because they're not necessarily showing me, the consumer, that they have any concessions to pretty much provide me value in that regard. I already bought the game, and I already bought their console that could support the game playing at higher frame rates. Why should I pay the extra $10 in order for me to be able to play that when I have a gaming PC that can do way better and I can play almost any other game out there at better performance and get the best value for my money? So even though it may sound like $10 is not a big deal, the principle behind it is actually a big deal, if you understand what I mean. Now, think about this particular action from PlayStation and think about it on different levels, and you'll start to see that other actions like increasing the PlayStation Plus, platform and all the different tiers, only to be providing what I think are mediocre titles, at the end of the day, and charging for things like cloud saves, things that basically don't make sense to me, don't provide that customer-centric approach. So they can basically start to look aside and say, okay, what can we do for our consumers to allow for them to be able to stay on our platform and patronize our platform? And I think they can start from these two things that I've actually mentioned. And I think they're going to go forward and be able to basically keep themselves in a strong position in the market. The second thing is bringing their games to PC day one. Now, I said this in many other videos, and even though it will probably allow for those of us who double dip to probably abandon that double dipping because we're going to be able to play on a PlayStation, it is quite imperative and inevitable that the capability of them selling multiple copies of their game is far more outweighed by them hanging or banking on a possibility that after 2 years, people are going to come back and buy their game for full price. Well, this is not the case. No one wants to buy these games at full price, or few people anyways want to buy them at full price when they show up on PC. Hence, the reason you're seeing this Uncharted game on sale for almost 6 months. Did you see this? It's going to be on Good Old Games for $24.99, 50% off for 5 whole months of 2024 because the game is just that old and nobody really wants to patronize it. When you look at even a game like Horizon, Zero Dawn, it is also going the same route at 75% off, which this is come and gone because it's an old title. But this is basically what they're doing to move copies. However, if they would just leverage their PlayStation LLC to pinpoint and release games day one on PC, they will not have to go through this price slashing that they basically sit in and sit on for the entirety of their time almost on PC. This is not the first time Spider-Man is going on sale for $35, and you can actually get it for less on CD Keys and other websites that sell Steam keys. Miles Morales as well. The Last of Us Part 1 is more than likely going to be dropping in price very soon after having had mixed reviews when it launched on PC. I know many of you that, are basically beating on Starfield. You didn't realize that this game came out buggy when it showed up on the, on the PlayStation platform. It was actually really weird. I could not wrap my mind around it, to be very honest with you guys. So pretty much their studios have now basically become PC studios by default, and they also have a studio or studios that pretty much prioritize developing their games when they make their way to console, and they basically make the PC ports. So this particular, I would say direction from them will really open the door for more sales. Consoles are going away. I know some people keep saying, it will remove their, marketability. They're not going to be able to sell their consoles. But cloud gaming is coming. In fact, I thought PC gaming was going to basically be the future, but, I was wrong. Even the PC gaming side of things is basically, in regard to the fact that PC is versatile. That's why PC still continues to remain strong. Mobile is versatile, so that's why it remains strong. These two things are not necessarily going to go away so easily. In fact, I doubt that they're going anywhere easily. So gaming is pretty much going to move itself over there. And for those of you who may ask me about Nintendo and say, what is Nintendo doing and how is Nintendo so different? Well, the reality is Nintendo is at the point where even they themselves will find themselves in a market position where they actually have to go ahead and pivot. But their pivot is actually very easy. And I say easy, what I mean by that is easier. They have to just be, number one, willing to go ahead and just risk pretty much everything that they've, guarded against, because this new industry and this new market is calling for much more risk and much more, interesting plays from these publishers and these game developers overall. So their easiest switch, pun intended, will be the mobile platform, because they already have their, portable device, which is the Nintendo Switch, and the Switch 2 that's coming. But I think their quickest switch is to basically go cell phones, because cell phones have a lot of power to be able to play basically every Switch game in, with ease even. I mean, you can play Assassin's Creed Mirage on your iPhone 15. If Nintendo was not considering the mobile market, they're going to be making the Nokia move, which is basically what chewed and destroyed the Nokia brand for the most part. So these companies cannot afford to continue to sit in their ways of doing business, because technology is changing and keeping up and bringing us to areas where we didn't necessarily know we would be much faster than we thought we would ever, be there. Go watch any sci-fi movie from, the past 8 to 10 years, and you'll realize that most of the technology that's in those movies is already out of date by 2023, and it's not even been too far off. So when you think about that, it really starts to make things, or put things into a different perspective. This is what I think PlayStation can start to leverage right now in regard to their own platform that would help them, because this is the way to go. Continuing to find third-party deals to make exclusive and make first-party exclusives is not easy anymore. These games are very expensive. I doubt Square Enix is going to be giving them any first-party exclusives after the Final Fantasy 7 remake. I've said this before. You're not easily going to see it. Now, it still may happen, but it's going to be hard for, Square Enix and all these publishers to say, no, we're going to bank on just PlayStation when there's a PC platform, when there's, the Xbox platform that they can leverage, and fans on all these platforms that are happy to purchase a few million copies of their games when they eventually make their way to those platforms. And I know many people might also cite to me and say, but these PlayStation exclusives, they actually did sell well when they made their way to PC. Yes, which proves my point that they will sell more if they showed up on the very first day rather than them be bottom bin picks over the holiday seasons on the Steam sales or the holiday sales. Because that is exactly what it is. If the games are already selling well on the platform, then how much more or how much better would they sell if they made their way to the PC platform on the very first day of release? Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully we can, pretty much break loose from the console paradigm that PlayStation has some, secret sauce, when even Nintendo themselves will probably be facing the same predicament because they started this particular paradigm for the most part anyways. They basically harnessed and, made it very good, but I don't necessarily think it would be sustainable for them unless, of course, they're able to dial back and continue to dial back their production costs, which is going to help them. PlayStation, on the other hand, could also do that. I think they could, but at this point, with the quality expectations that they've set up, it's going to be hard for them to be able to dial those production costs and still try to sell those games for good amounts of money. A lot of people are onto them now with their tactics. But let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. Appreciate you guys so much, and we'll talk hopefully pretty soon in another one. Peace out.